Shalom, Yasha Allah. First and foremost, we get all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. The bonus of our apostles and others, a great millstone, who rule well. And peace and blessings to the hopeful elect that push this great gospel with sincerity and truth. This your brother Tazakai Yahweh from the great millstone, Indianapolis camp. Coming at you another lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And Lord willing to be edifying. Got an article here from AlJazeera.com, and it reads, Tsunami warning withdrawn after powerful earthquake hits Vanuatu. It says tsunami warning withdrawn for parts of the South Pacific Ocean region hours after a 7.0 magnitude quake hits Vanuatu. And this article came out January 8th, 2023. The hopeful year that all these prophecies come to pass, that all the prophecies come to pass. And it reads, a 7.0 magnitude earthquake has struck the South Pacific Ocean nation Vanuatu, the United States Geological Survey has said, triggering a tsunami warning for the region that was withdrawn hours later. The quake hit around 11:30 local time on Sunday. It was centered 23 kilometers from Port Ory and hit at a depth of 17 miles, the agency said. Oh, Slocky, give me a second. Alright, so the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center said that a tsunami threat it had issued for nearby Vanuatu coast has passed some Vanuatu. It's like, yeah, I say how it is, whatever. It say residents fled to higher ground after the warning was first issued. I don't know why I keep doing this. Okay. It say case in point. A 22-year-old student from the village of Hog Harbor in Espiritu Santo said he felt a very huge shaking of the earth. We were right on the sea. We were looking for crab on the coast. Of course we were. He said, going off. We ran for our lives, and then we ran to our homes. At his home in the village of about 1,000 people, the quake had knocked objects to the ground, breaking cups in the kitchen, Poor said. People were moving to higher ground, he added, for fear of a tsunami tidal wave. But Poor said he has seen no structural damage to homes in his village. There have been no reports of damage or casualties so far. Vanuatu has a population of 280,000 people and consists of several dozen islands. It sits on the Pacific Ring of Fire, where tectonic plates collide, and it experiences frequent seismic and volcanic activity. In November, a nearby island nation north of Vanuatu, the Solomon Islands, were hit with a 7.0 quake. There were no reports of serious injuries or damages. The coastal regions of nearby Papua New Guinea were put on alert for tsunami waves of up to 12 inches. The French embassy in Vanuatu advised people to stay away from the coast in the post on its official Facebook page. So that was that. Vanuatu. Then we got one from Indonesia, which came out January 9th of 2023 from Reuters. It says, Indonesia rattled by a 7.6 magnitude quake. Tsunami warning lifted. Jakarta, January 10th, Indonesia was struck by a 7.6 magnitude earthquake on Tuesday off the, Tanimbar Islands, prompting panicked residents in the area to flee their homes. Although a tsunami warning was lifted after 3 hours, and initial reports indicated limited damage. The Tanimbar Islands are a group of about 30 islands in eastern Indonesia's Maluku province. At least 4 aftershocks were reported after a powerful quake that was also felt in some parts of northern Australia. Indonesia Disaster Agency officials said that at least 15 homes and 2 school buildings were damaged, with 1 person injured after the tremor was felt strongly for 3 to 5 seconds. The quake, locally measured as magnitude 7.5, struck at a depth of 130 kilometers or almost 81 miles. At 2:47 a.m. local time, the country's geophysics agency, BMKG, said the tsunami warning was lifted at 5:43 a.m. It says, based on our observation of 4 tide gauges around the earthquake's epicenter, there was no anomaly detected or no significant changes of sea level. BMKG head, not going to try to read that, told the news conference, advising people who live near the coast to continue with their activities. So it says, Oslaki. Interesting. It says the European Mediterranean Seismological Center recorded the magnitude of the quake at 7.6 after initially reporting it as 7.7. The U.S. Geological Survey also pegged it as a 7.6. There were 4 aftershocks, with the strongest recorded at 5.5 magnitude. Damn. They say Indonesia rests atop the so-called Pacific Ring of Fire, making it one of the most seismically active regions in the world, experiencing frequent earthquakes. So it's a 5.6 magnitude earthquake that struck Indonesia's most populated province of West Java last November, flattened homes and killed more than 300 people. Damn, hey, judgment from Yahweh Shemel Shai. Let's see. So yeah, that was all on that. Now, there's another little article. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but just want to read. Yeah, just gonna read that first portion. Say this came from weatherboy.com. It came out January 2nd, 2023. It says 2023 kicks off with 150 plus earthquakes around the United States from California to Ohio. And this is showing the image, a vague image of where they all hit. So it said the new year kicked off, or so-called new year kicked off with a flurry of seismic activity around the United States, with more than 150 earthquakes in the United States. The start of 2023 began with earthquakes from California to Ohio, with abundant activity beyond the continental United States and Alaska, Hawaii, and even Puerto Rico. Within the last 24 hours, there have been 102 earthquakes across the continental United States. According to the USGS, 6 of those quakes were rated as a magnitude 2.5 event or greater, with the strongest earthquake striking Northern California on New Year's Day. That 5.4 magnitude earthquake struck about 9 miles south of Rio Dale in Northern California. It says not far from where a 6.4 magnitude event shook the region and left 2 people dead just weeks ago. On December 20th, a magnitude 6.4 earthquake struck here, and USGS scientists believe yesterday's earthquake was an aftershock to that one. In addition to the 2 deaths, 27 homes in Rio Dale was declared unsafe for occupancy by local officials. Of course, it's the New Madrid fault line right here. So that's pretty much all I want to read. So like I said, the so-called New Year started off with 150 plus earthquakes. While, all the madness was going on, but at the end of the day, that was all I really had, just reporting on the earthquakes. At the end of the day, man, it's all prophecies. It's all what ultimately visitations of Yahweh Shemel Shai, showing you that he is visiting the place, the world which he created. And we just gonna, like I said, not make this too long, hit these scriptures. It's Isaiah 29, verse 6. They say, thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Shemel Shai of hosts, with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. A lot of people want the Lord. I want him to speak to me. I want him to visit me. I want him to come to myself and tell me this and that. One of the main ways that Yahweh Shemel Shai will visit you and speak to you is send something like this to you. He can send famines, plagues, pestilence, distress, calamities, limitations, more than woes. He'll send that to you. So when you see these earthquakes, you got to keep in mind, like I said, that should be visited. So you should keep in mind, that's a visitation of Yahweh Shemel Shai. As a matter of fact, we're going to do this. Boom. This we're going to do. I wasn't going to go there, but the Spirit going to do what it's going to do. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9, get to the point, verse 3. It say, therefore when thou shalt be seen, matter of fact, start at the top, 9 verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before. So the measurements, we're measuring the things that's going on in the world in real time, and we're measuring it and and aligning it up with the scriptures, right? That's how we can track and understand the seasons, the tokens, the prophecies that Yahweh Shai laid out for us. We don't know the exact date when the end gonna come, but we understand that they gave us breadcrumbs, they gave us clues to follow, to measure by, to understand the time periods that we are in. So you measure these times by, well, again, what's going on in the real time, and you comparing it and aligning it with the scriptures, right? That's going to those signs, the prophecies. It says, thou shalt understand, then thou shalt understand that it is a very same time wherein the highest will begin to do what? To visit the world which he hath made. So it says what? Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So going to, like I say, the verse 2 say the highest will begin to visit the world which he made, and it say when there shall be seen earthquakes. So these earthquakes as part of the visitation of Yahweh Shem Shai is not a so-called natural disaster or whatever the case may be, or just a earth, anomaly or phenomenon, this and that. No, this was sent by Yahweh Shem Shai as a part of his visitations. Look at the seismograph, and they can do whatever. All glory go to Yahweh Shem Shai at the end of the day. So yeah, again, making that point that this is a visitation from Yahweh Shem Shai, and we just gonna, like I said, this ain't gonna be too long. Just gonna hit the points. Matthew chapter 24, verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. So all these things are going to become to pass. All of these are part of the end time prophecies. Oh, these things been happening all the time. This and that. Not at the magnitude that is happening in these latter times. To the point where you can't even keep up with what's going on. So you understand these nations against each other, butting the heads, not seeing eye to eye, putting what they call them, sanctions on this, sanctions on that, not agreeing to this. They against each other, kingdom against kingdom. Even the people within the kingdom, within the nation, are against each other. So not only are they against each other from nation to nation, but the nations within themselves, the citizens within themselves, are against each other as well. Right? And there shall be famines, right? Lack of food scarcity, lack of water, lack of commodities, whatever you may need, right? Pestilences, disease, plagues, those are running out rampant. And what? Earthquakes in diverse places, right? Real quick, like I say, in diverse places. Got my little app. They say, what's that? Now I got mine. I think mine from like 4.5 on up, so I can add all the other smaller ones, but But it say, we got Oregon, Peru, Vanuatu Islands, what was one of the featured, Indonesia, one of the featured countries, both of those, right? Alaska, South Sandwich Islands, Taiwan, Indonesia, Mexico, a lot of Indonesias, Gabon, Argentina, Greece, Papua New Guinea, Mexico, Southern Iran. So these are all diverse places that the scriptures say will happen. And ending off of verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows, meaning what? These are the beginning of those bad times, those evil times, those perilous times. But guess what? It's only the beginning, so that means what? Things are going to get worse. So those who are in the wrong mind, we just waiting for everything to get better, the world to be healed, and this and that. If you think the world could be healed on this side with Esau, Edom in rulership, you got your damn mind. You deserve the death that you can receive. But us of the household of faith, Lord, will we be able to tabernacle with David? Lord, will we be able to elect? Hey, we understand that things will get better, and we understand, they're going to get worse. So we understand that things will get worse before they get better. So we rule for the destruction and the calamity of this current eon, this age that Esau Edom is ruled in, because while we know the betterment, what's going to be far much better, which is an understatement, to what's coming to the nation, the restoration of the house of Israel, we understand that we got to get ugly before we get that pretty. We understand they got to get bitter before it get to sweet. So we hoping and we longing for that this year, that all the prophecies come to pass. So why? So that we get delivered from this hellhole. But that's all I got on this lesson. Lord willing, is edifying to sincere Akim while Akim out there listening. I want to get all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, the wildest apostles, elders, and great millstone, real well. And peace and blessings to the whole full that this is the great gospel in sincerity and truth. Shalom, Yasha Allah, Abai, Babal.